Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Malikicowtipper going to bring This is Malikicowtipper going to be bringing you another game of StarCraft 2, and today my opponent is KanYeTothe. KanYeTothe. So I'm just practicing saying that. I really don't say the name of the people that I play a lot in these games, and I think it's because, I'm like, well, I'm Malikicowtipper, and you guys, you all know who I am, and if you don't know who I am, well, that's just not cool. And, I never noticed that before. Why does Terran get to start out with 7? Either that or no, he was just quicker. He's quicker on his keys than me. So it looks like, from what I could see of KanYeTothe, we're just going to call him Kanye, that's awesome, is that he really likes to play 2v2, 3v3, stuff like that. Not really so much kind of a big 1v1 guy, but you know what, I'm a big 1v1 guy. I really like to compete, play 1v1, and just do cool stuff like that. So the map is Ohana LE, I want to say. I know it's not Ohana Beach. It looks like a pretty cool map, and I've never had the pleasure of playing it. I wonder if it's tournament only or something of that sort. That's just bad texture work there, Blizzard. Come on. I got the game setting on Ultra here. And those trees are pretty cool. And the Overlord is just like, man, I'm so fucking chill. I don't even know what the hell's going on, man. I'm that cool. So if we check this out, supply depot going down at the front of the wall here. Pretty standard stuff. Probably going to expect to see a bunker somewhere right in there. And I have my scouting drone coming up into the base. I'm going to kind of see what I can see. But I have taken a few day break back from StarCraft, and I was actually kind of afraid to play some competitive games when I came back today. I'm like, well, I think I'll just play some casual games. I ended up playing like 3 hours of tower defense, and I'm like, God, I just need to play some competitive StarCraft. This isn't doing it for me, man. If we check this out, I'm trying to set movement paths here, but I keep misclicking, and I'm just like foobarring this up really bad. So eventually I will get a good scouting path going on. If we check out my base right here, we'll see that I'm going to be doing my pretty standard opening. 16 expand, 16 gas, 16 pool. And it's a pretty neat build. I like it. I think it's very similar to the 15 style that a lot of pros do, and I've just decided that I like 16 better, and I'm going to continue doing it that way. And now, this worker, I saw him come out over here, but I decided not to poke out. And if we check this out, he's going for a barracks outside of the base. Now, I guess kind of some benefits to this as far as it's concerned. My Overlord's also going to see this, because my Overlord, he's so chill, he's awesome. And I'm scouting down here as well. I'm a little afraid that the Terran's going to try to pull some type of cheese on me. And a couple things. The barracks itself, I really do not feel as though this one being outside of the base. This gains him maybe like 10 seconds off of this second barracks, but it took him a lot longer to start it because he had to run the worker all the way to the outside of the base. And if we check this out right here, he's actually working very, very hard, there we go, to kill my scouting drone. But I already have all the information I need. I basically know exactly what's coming at me, and to my dismay, I didn't get my pool down until very, very late. You can see it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the game. My pool's not out. I just messed up on my micro. So I am going to be working on getting my gas, because I do want to get speed pretty much as quickly as it's done. And we can check this out here, that he's starting to roll out. He has an SCV on the way, he has 2 Marines on the way, and this attack, this type of all-in strategy, well, I won't call it all-in, because you can definitely come back from this. Sometimes you have a lot of luck with it, and sometimes you don't. And if we check this out, he's not pushing out with these Marines. Like right now, these Marines could be hitting my base with this SCV, and I wouldn't have lings for another 30 seconds before I could stop it. He's not getting ready to build a bunker. Like, there should be a bunker, like, right over here. Oh my god, that would be such a great place for a bunker before the creep gets there. Would have been so cool, but no, he's content just kind of run that SCV through here, and I think he was just kind of checking it out, seeing what my tech was, and I think he was validating whether or not he should go for some type of push. But as far as it's concerned, you committed to making the 2 racks very, very early. You haven't gotten gas yet. And we can see here he's actually pulling off 5 SCVs. So I feel like this is kind of a calculated, I'll see what I can do with this, but if it doesn't work, I might still be able to kind of win. If we check this out, he's actually going to pick up quite a few easy ling kills right here. But I'm also going to delay some of his troops and also kill 1 or 2 of his SCVs. These lings were meant actually to go out and hopefully catch the Marines out and about, and they would have, but these SCVs were like, I was not expecting them at all. So right now we can check it out. I have speed on the way. I have 8 more links coming. He has 2 more links coming. I'm pulling all my workers off, and I'm pulling up 2 spine crawlers here, basically knowing that this hatch, it's probably going to have to go down. This Overlord is going to have to die. It's an unfortunate part of this, and he has so much money right now. Why are you not spending that money? Because you can't. You can't spend it because you don't have the production facilities to spend it, you fool. So this hatchery is going to go down, and actually what I need to do is I need to time this with my lings. So what you do is you go in and you attack with your Lings as the hatchery dies, and then your Broodlings are also there, giving you a lot of extra DPS. So if we check this out, the Broodlings actually getting a good surround, a Ling popping on all those SCVs, just soaking up the damage, working these guys away, Speedlings out just in time, and all of these Marines, they're going to die a very terrible, horrible death, along with the SCVs. So, taking a look at the recap, we can see here that the units lost, favoring me ever so slightly, and going up a little bit. Any more Marines sent out, yep, they're just going to be Zergling food at this point in the game. We check out income, I am ahead, 18 to 11 Harvesters. Now, the real victory for him is he was able to kill my hatchery. We take a look at this, he's going for an inside the base orbital command, he's flying his other barracks in here. That's a good thing, because I have Lings going out, and I would have killed it if he wouldn't have done that. And if we see here, I'm producing more Lings. So what I need to do is I pretty much need to stop Ling production at this point, because... well, I won't say that. I can do one of two things. I can continue to produce Lings and try to end the game with my superior economy, but that's a really good way to throw away what is almost a guaranteed win for you, because you're just attacking into this and it's not going to do you a lot of good at all. But I'm going to try to see if I can do anything with these Speedlings. You never know. And the other thing that I could do is I could just continue to drone and try to get that economy built and see what I can do with it. So I have my... second expansion going up. I have these spine crawlers ready to defend my base. We can see I'm starting to get a lot of saturation here, so I can migrate over a lot of those workers. And what I really should do, and this drone is for it, you guessed it, we are taking a quick third expansion. So second base goes down. You know what? The Zergamese says, screw it, let's build another base. And I'm starting to work on the rocks, going to get Lings on both sides, and they'll die eventually, but these rocks just have so much armor. You know, it's just tough. We check this out. My Overlord's going to go into the base, going to tell me everything I need to know. I see the command center. I see the factory. I know everything, and ugh, guts everywhere. Do I know what that is? You know, I'm almost positive I do. You know, I'm pretty sure I clicked on it, because at the time I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's a factory, cool. I have spine crawlers, your factory does nothing against me. I am a little worried that he's going to transition into Banshee play, simply because going for one type of, you know, cheesy maneuver into another type of semi-cheesy, well, we're going to call it cheesy maneuver, is just... a lot of people seem to do it because it's like, well, I'm behind now, let's try something that can make me go from being unbehind. Like, the whole thing with a lot of cheese strats like that is they either try to level the playing field or they hope that the enemy player will mess up. You know, you hope... the fact is that they're probably playing better than you. Sometimes, you know, otherwise the cheeser can by far be the better player, so I'll recant that statement, but you're hoping that they mess up and that your attack that... could very easily be foiled, does more damage than it probably should. So if we check this out, there's a good group of Marines. I like how he's SimCity in them there. And these Zerglings, if I were to get these Zerglings into the front part of the Marines, I might be able to take them out, and maybe if I was good enough, I could get in to that pocket of Marines. But once they kind of ball up like this, you know, there's just not a lot of hope. There's just not enough Zerglings here, and I'm going to rush in here, and after I lose a few Lings, I'm going to pull back, and I'm like, okay, he's got a decent group of Marines. They're stationed out front. That probably means that he's getting right, that he's putting that expansion out. We can see I have another queen coming out right over here, and I really need to start my creep spread. So this map is one thing where this front is very wide open, and to take your bases, you almost need control of the middle map, and creep spread is one of the few ways that Zerg can really do a good job at that. And also, seeing that he had a bunch of Marines there, I'm going to go for a Baneling Nest. This Baneling Nest is more defensive. It's not going to... you know, be, oh, I'm going to bust down this wall, even though at this point in the game, I very easily could transition just into a straight Baneling all-in, detonate the crap out of this, just because I have a good idea what his tech is, and I know that his economy's got to be way behind mine. And we go to the income tab, 41 over 25 for harvester count. We see here that I'm going very, very gas heavy. The reason I'm doing that is I want to start to transition into some late game, and I want to start to get some tech out in the field, and I delayed my gas for so long early in the game. So I figure, you know what, I got to get it up. Check this out, I have a lot of saturation. I really need to migrate some of those workers, and I'll be doing that just about any minute because I'm awesome. There we go. See, I don't watch my own games, and these 6 drones being put straight for the gas. So at that point, that will bring me up to about 54 harvesters, which is a pretty acceptable amount. I want to be up to about 70 when I'm running on 3 base, and this is actually a very good position to be as a Zerg player. And my headphones just died. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Audio's good for us. Yes, I'm actually So I use Logitech's G930 set for my headphones, and I actually really like them. They're 7.1, they're wireless, extremely comfortable, 10-hour battery life. The only thing that you got to be careful of, sometimes that battery dies, but you can use them plugged in as well. So this queen, she's going to be pooping out creep. That's so cool, although I think it takes me a while to get that up and rolling because my micro's just not that good. You know, I am awesome, but not quite that awesome, I guess. So going for a Spire, and the reason I'm getting the Spire down is when I set my Overseer in here, I saw the 3 medvacs, and I'm like, he's probably going to do drop play. And one of the best ways to shut down drop play as a Zerg is to take back the sky with your Mutalisks. Get some good Overlord spread, which we can see my Overlords are going out all over the map. I'll be researching Overlord speed, you know, right now just to help get them out. If we check this out, he has a push getting ready, and he's more than likely going to load up these dropships and see what he can do with them now. Realistically, this is one of those things where if I can counter this, I can come out extremely ahead, but if I don't counter it, I can lose very badly. So we can see here, my unit of troops is very, very small, and actually, my Banelings just getting their Centrifugal Hooks upgrade. Oh, and there's going to be dead Marines everywhere. That is so awesome. God, that's cool. But now I have no troops, so I decide I'm going to make 40 Banelings. That's a good idea. But he has just enough troops left there where I'm not going to be able to keep this hatchery alive, and I thought, you know, I'll try a drone surround, but I'd much rather just lose the hatchery than lose the hatchery and all the drones. And what I'm doing is I'm rallying all my Lings back here to the center part of the base. If I had rallied them down here, I just don't think I could have saved that hatchery. And part of that is, the reason why that attack caught me so off guard is I didn't have creep spread. You know, I had no map vision whatsoever, so this is the second hatchery that he's down this game, and right now he's probably sitting there thinking like, doing like that evil little laugh, like, yes, your hatchery's mine. So I'm like, fuck you, I'm going to take a 4th hatchery. And I just decided that, you know, if he downs a hatchery, I'm going to rebuild it, and then I'm going to take another expand. And then I'm going to try to maintain some map control, so you can see I got a lot of Lings out, a lot of Lings, and at this point, I kind of need to start to transition into more of a mid-game, and we can see here that he's loading up his medvacs, and he's going to go for a drop play. And the reason he's going to start to do this is, if we check this out, he's still only at 35 harvesters. He hasn't taken his other gases down here. He's very, very determined to end this game, and he's going into some missile turrets, which is actually a very good thing because I have Mutalisks out on the field. I don't think he might have scanned and seen that Spire. And right here, my Overlord placement is decent, but I'm just barely going to catch those guys off the edge of the minimap. And we can see here that he actually stops and flies in, just very, very smart. So, as far as that goes, I did spread these guys out, but I do not have enough of them, where if I'm not looking at the minimap at just the right time, I'm going to miss them. We can see I'm rallying my troops right in the center of the map, and if he drops 2 fully loaded medvacs down here, it could do a lot of damage. My Spire is back here. This is where my lair is. It's going to be going Hive very, very soon, and I just don't want to lose any of that. That would be really, really awful if that happened. So we can see I'm sending out Mutalisks right here, but he's also moving out in the center of the map, so he's going to do a 2-pronged attack. If we check this out, over at the units, 52 Zerglings, 11 Mutas, 10 Banelings, versus 45 Marines, 1 tank, and 6 medvacs. So as long as I get decent placement in my units, cleaning this up should not be an issue at all, and I'm going to see these guys coming in here on the creep, and he's stimming, moving in, and I'm going to get a really nice position with my Lings, my Banelings, my Mutas, cleaning all of this up. And right now, I'm feeling really good. I'm like, ha, got you, you lose. And I'm having a problem double-clicking on my Mutalisks, but if we check this out, he's dropping down here, and I have nothing here. My army is a very long way away, and this is one of those things where all of a sudden you realize that Speedlings just, they're never quite fast enough. So at this point, he has a couple options. He can kill off my economy, which is always a good thing to do as a Terran, and then he's going to go for my Spire, and he's going to shut this down, and by doing that, he's really going to deny me any type of air control. So you can see I'm getting ready. I know it's going to go down, so I'm placing a second Spire, and these troops, I mean, these Lings all come in. If we check out the upgrades, he is at 0-0. My Lings are at 1-1. I have there 2-1 coming down, and I'm actually really surprised that going as Marine heavy as he is, that he is neglecting all of his production for, you know, for upgrades this long in the game. Right here, these damn medvacs going to continue to be annoying, just continuing to pick off all my workers. If we check this out right now, you can see that he has killed 17 of my workers to me killing 9 of his, and that's mainly from that all-in attack that he did. My Mutas, they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage over here because he has missile turrets, and unfortunately, please tell me I clicked on these guys and that they're going to die. Good. These medevacs will at least die. That makes me feel a little bit better. But all things considering, he killed off a lot of my workers there. If we check out my income, I'm still at 64 harvesters. So he didn't get me where it counts. You know, he took out a lot of harvesters here at the back end of my base. And you can see I'm reproducing some harvesters, but I'm not going to fully saturate this. I just need a few on there, and we can see I'm right back up to 72, and he's at 37. So his biggest sin this game is doing what a lot of, you know, I'd say more inexperienced StarCraft players do, where they say, I think I have enough workers, I'm going to attack. Because every time he attacks now, I still have a few Banelings left over, fungal growth's going to go down, stop a lot of those troops. Baneling's going to come in, murder everything, Mutalisks just cleaning everything up. These medvacs are for sure going to die this time. Please kill them, Mutalisks, please chase them down, and nope, I give up. That's right, go home and tell your kids or something like that. But anyway, the biggest sin that he's committing, aside from me misclicking and everything, is he just does not have enough workers. We check this out, he hasn't gotten these gas yet, and that's because he's pretty much committed to this Marine and this Starport build, but his upgrades just are not there. And if we take a look at my army, I have my 2-1 done. If we go back to production right now, we'll see that I'm getting a Greater Spire. I have 7 Corruptors on the way. So his army is getting very, very close to being just completely outclassed by mine. I'm taking another expansion, and the reason for this is I'm attempting to play as aggressive as possible. I'm not letting, you know, this fear of him coming in and dropping on me, you know, stop me from doing what I need to do. Because if you let the Terran get you that way, you're going to lose. It's almost a guaranteed thing. So these Mutalisks, they're going to go on a map tour, and they're going to check out the locations on the map. And if we see here, just a pocket full of Marines, there's not much that he has going on. I'm getting the crack upgrade, 3 attack, 2 ground armor. Going back to the income, he's finally starting to get some, you know, a little bit better drone work going on here. He's finally getting his his third and fourth gas. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And he does not have enough orbital commands to try to do the mule thing where, oh, I'm not going to have SCVs, I'm just going to have mules. That just does not work. If we check out the units lost right now, we're actually dead even, so you've got to imagine that I am so much further along in this game than he is, just because my economy's been better the entire time. He's been focused on damaging my economy, but that's one thing as a Zerg player. Just like boxing, man, you got to walk into those punches. And if they decide to take down a base, build 2 more bases. They take out drones, build all those drones back, because you know what? You're going to have the larva for later. And my mining is so spread out right now, you can actually see I've got a good amount of saturation right there. My frame rate's stripping right now. Computer, fuck you. Fuck you. So, these Mutalisks, I was able to poke in here, deny a little bit of mining time, kill some SCVs, force some turrets out of him. That's one other thing that Mutalisks can do. So I've forced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, at about 150 minerals apiece. That's 1,500 minerals worth of turrets that I've forced for a unit that realistically I'm just not going to build any more of. Right now, income at 80 over 42, wow, and, you know, there's just... I would have to mess up very, very badly at this point for the game to go south. Now, I'm not going to say that I could lose. You know, a few well-timed drops could do a lot of damage to me. And if we check this out at this base, I actually decided, you know what, I'm going to lay down some anti-air, I'm going to lay down some spines, but I didn't let my creep spread out, so those spines aren't quite going to be in the right place. But if we check this out, I have 7 Broodlords right now. Do I have +1 air attack? No, he killed my Spire before my +1 air attack could get down. Either that or I just never did it. That was a different game I did +1 air attack. Who does that anyway? So my creep spread finally starting to get somewhat reasonable, but he has done a decent job kind of delaying it, killing it off into the middle of the map. We can see that my Army of Doom is just starting to move out, so the idea is to send my Broodlords pretty much over this terrain where you can't get Marines at him and just start to pummel this expansion, because at this point in the game I'm figuring he can't have much left out of these bases. I didn't know just how bad his income situation was. We can see he has 2 more drops going down. You sneaky son of a gun. Just with all your drop shenanigans, I dislike you very much. And these Marines just being oh so troublesome. So I'm going to send these Broodlords in, hopefully force him to call back his army or not to push out. We can see that I'm sending out some Banelings, I'm sending out some Infestors, some Mutas. That's more or less just one of those grabs of, yeah, I think I'll send you guys. So this right here, he is going to manage to kill a couple of my Infestors, but I get some Fungals off. Banelings going down, Mutalisks just killing everything. There's not enough Marines there. Their upgrades just are not where they need to be at all. He's dealing with 3-2 Cracklings. That's just, this is not where you want to be as a Terran, and right now, there's nothing he can do to save this orbital command. He can sit here and he can repair it, but you can see he almost doesn't even have the money to do that, and it's just going to bleed him dry. This is all mining time that's being delayed right now. SCVs are slowly but surely starting to die. We can see that he actually did manage to take down that expansion and a lot of the workers with it, which really does suck. And right here, my base defense is actually going to do me a little bit of good. And, you know, just because his upgrades are so bad, it's taking so long for him to kill these spine crawlers, and this one medevac just is not going to be enough. So a few cracklings coming in, they're going to do a really good job at helping clean this up. Although I didn't quite send enough of them, that's upsetting. Infestors. Infestors always save the day with fungal growth when they don't get shot, because they're awesome. That's right, my infestors are cool because they're getting shot at. Oh god, I suck. But you know, at this point in the game, I'm just like, screw it. If you were to be watching my camera right now, you would say it's just absolutely hectic right now trying to manage all this. Just as my micro isn't quite where it needs to be. I was able to clean this up over here. I still have 63 over 18 for harvesters, and at this point, there's just not much that you can do for the game. These Vikings are too little, too late. There's too many corruptors in the sky, too many brood lords. This expansion is going back down, and Kanye leaves the game. No GG in sight. I bet you he feels cheated. I did use OP Zerg powers. I expanded and did other cool stuff like that, so I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and just kind of looking at it back in retrospect, it's one of those things where, you know, you don't really realize it when you're playing, that the mistakes that, you know, either you or your opponent make. Like, for myself, knowing that he was going drop heavy, there was no reason for me not to have, you know, 2 or 3 spine crawlers at each one of those bases. You can see just how effective they were if they would have been in the right position at holding off those Marines. There's no reason that I didn't have better creep spread. I had this queen just sitting here with 143 energy, and I could have spread that out for him. You know, the main base isn't even mined out right now. Granted, mine's barely mined out, I guess, because he did a very effective drop there, but the entire game, his economy just, you know, it came back to haunt him, and he just didn't have the units. He was stuck on a low upgrade composition. I think my 3-3 was on the way. Probably not. Who needs 3-3? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is KanYeTothe signing out.